What's going on, guys? My name's Josh and I'm back today. I've been binge watching I Know What You Did Last Summer, the TV series, all day. I'm now currently on episode 3, and yeah, I'm going to be recapping episode 3. Before we get started, if you could please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Now you better watch out because it's time to get this video started. Let's go. So yes, guys, I'm now finally on I Know What You Did Last Summer TV series episode 3. And yeah, so as far as this episode goes, it was okay. I would say as far as it's just in general how I've been enjoying the series, it's okay. I'm not in love with it. I don't hate it. I have been enjoying it, but yes. So let's get into this episode. So recapping this episode, so the episode starts out with pretty much Johnny just got his head cut off. Pretty much the gang is all really upset. They all decide to meet. So pretty much Allison, Riley, Margot, Dylan, they all meet. And pretty much because they all saw the same video, they all saw that, Johnny got his head cut off. And this is the first time Dylan kind of rejoins the group again. And we just kind of see pretty much Margot, she is completely broken. She's so upset that, Johnny got his head cut off because that was her best friend. And I feel like this is the first time we actually get a glimpse into the real Margot. And you can't help but feel bad for her because, one of the people that was closest to her got killed. And yeah, so I do feel bad for Margot, and I just feel like we get to know her character a little bit more. As far as the other characters, they definitely all feel bad as well. I feel like Riley does feel bad, but she has such a tough exterior. She doesn't really show her emotions at all. But I think all the characters are kind of, upset about this. Allison's upset as well because she was also close with Johnny, and pretty much so they all kind of compare notes. Allison thinks that, whoever's stalking them is the killer, and the rest of the gang doesn't believe that it's the stalker. They think that Allison is the one who really came back, she's not dead, and she's the one who's, the killer. And really, the real Allison is kind of, she's alive, but she thinks maybe could that potentially be Lennon? Is Lennon back alive and Lennon's the killer? Allison doesn't really think so. She doesn't think it's them, and she thinks the killer is the actual stalker. So that's pretty much the rest of the gang thinks Allison's the killer, and, the real Allison doesn't think so. She thinks whoever the stalker is the killer. So that's kind of what this episode's about. Allison's trying to figure out, who the stalker is, who's stalking her, and pretty kind of messages the stalker about meeting. Pretty much Allison is able to figure out that the stalker was actually Dale. Dale was the one stalking her all along. She kind of meets him at a location. She's a little nervous, and she ends up hitting him in the head and kind of running up. But she realizes that her stalker was Dale. Which Dale actually did have feelings for Lennon, so it kind of makes sense why he is stalking her, because he did like Lennon. So then the gang pretty much, they're still on the quest of, they think that, the killer is really Allison. So they go to the caves, where they're just kind of checking the caves out. It's revealed that Riley said pretty much that she did see, Allison breathe when they left her. So she did think she saw Allison take a breath. So this might potentially confirm that, the twin didn't die. So potentially Lennon, even though they think she died, she might not really be dead. So now they're just kind of believing they want to get to Allison. They want to kind of get to her and, see pretty much confront her and see. The rest of the gang doesn't like Allison. So Margot, Riley, they don't like Allison. Where Dylan, on the other hand, he feels more guilty because he actually had feelings for Allison and Allison had feelings for him. But because he slept with Lennon, he just pretty much blames this whole thing on himself. That if he didn't sleep with Lennon, he wouldn't have hurt Allison. Allison wouldn't have been on the road, and they wouldn't have hit her. So Dylan has a lot of guilt as far as Lennon's death, or Allison's death, but even though it was Lennon. And then we also find out that Riley did actually make a move on Dylan, but Dylan did not reciprocate because he likes Allison. So we kind of get a little backstory about those two characters. Now, the gang decides to, they're going to finally, once they figure out that the stalker has been Dale, they all decide, Dale was there at the time of the accident. They're going to confront him. So they go pretty much to his work, and they discover that Dale is dead. So the killer, the killer killed Dale. So now they know that Dale is not the killer, and the killer's still out there. The gang is pretty much still convinced, though, that Allison is the real killer. And yes, so that's kind of where, for the most part, the episode leaves off. And yeah, we know there's a killer out there. And overall, I would say this episode was okay. I feel like this episode was okay, but it just, to me, if me and my friends were being stalked by a killer and one of my friends got killed and their head chopped off, first of all, I would not be in town. I would get the hell off this island. I'd be back in the mainland. Like, as soon as I know there's a killer chopping heads off, I'm out. I'm not going to be staying in Hawaii. Like, get me out of Hawaii. Get me back to the mainland. And I just feel like these characters, especially, Allison, there's a killer going around. He's like threatening you, and you're kind of just, going along on your own, investigating and all that stuff. I would not be going anywhere alone. So I feel like some of these characters are kind of dumb, but it is a TV show, and so whatever. But overall, I feel like this episode was okay. We're getting to know a little bit more. It's definitely, by the end of the episode, it does feel like, okay, is the killer really Lennon? Is she really alive? She might be. It's kind of hard to tell right now, but it definitely is pointing to, Lennon's alive, which I don't know how I feel about it. I definitely did not like Lennon in the first episode. I didn't like her character at all. But if she's a killer, I feel like then I'd at least have respect for her. I might not like her, but if she then turns out to be a killer, that would just kind of fit with her character. So I kind of doubting, though, that Lennon's a killer. I do think there's something else. I'm kind of, as of right now, I'm leaning towards the dad. I don't know why. It's something with the dad I don't trust. That I'm like, okay, could the dad be the killer secretly? And he's mad at Allison for secretly killing his favorite daughter. That's kind of where I'm leaning to right now, but we will see. But yeah, that is my review or my recap for episode 3. What do you guys think? Did you like episode 3? Do you think the killer is really Lennon? Who do you think the killer is? And yeah, please leave your comments below, and thank you so much for watching.